Hello everybody and welcome to this first vlog video. I recently got a new car, so I'm just going to be skipping it to a video in just a second, and it's just me driving home from work, telling you about how I got the car and some other wee bits about the car. I'm also going to do some glamour shots of the car. It is a little bit dirty, but yeah, if you like the video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. See ya! I actually picked this car up on sort of a it was a bit of an impulse buy. So this car popped up and it was kind of really cheap. It needed quite a bit of work done, not mechanically or anything, more internal work done, which I've done a lot of internal work done in this car. So yeah, when I went down to see this car, and it was quite late at night and I was a bit worried about buying it because there was a few issues. When I went to go see the car, the heating wasn't working because one of the knobs, the heating knob to control the heat, was broken off, and he had this aftermarket stereo in, so I couldn't really get that out. It was a bit annoying because it was about a 3-hour drive home when I got the car to bring it home. So, and it was like -2 or something, so it was bloody freezing, as you can imagine. And anyway, eventually I just decided to buy the car. I got it actually at a really good deal. I got it really cheap, so that's not too much of an issue. And then when I got it home, I only had about 4 weeks MOT left on it, so I just spent the 4 weeks kind of getting the interior sorted. The driver's side window mechanism was totally knackered, so that's all fixed now. It does need some more adjustment. Yeah, so I got everything ready. I had to take the seats out because the seat bushings were shot in it. They were absolutely knackered, so I had to take the seats out of the car. There was basically, the old bushings in the seats were just non-existent. It was just a black gloop. Yeah, so I managed to replace the seat bushings with plastic seats. Plastic ones, so they're going to last much longer, and the seat's much better and it works fine. Yeah, so after I'd done the seats, I had to pull the centre console out because at the time when I took the stereo, I didn't know you had to basically pull out the centre console to get to the sort of heater control unit and all the bits behind it and stuff. So it turned out there's a plastic section behind the heater knob that basically, I think he'd tried to push it on and he pushed it off at the back, so it was lying at the back of the centre console, just sitting there, and that's why I couldn't adjust the heat. But when he'd done that, he damaged, sorry if the camera keeps moving, I've got it on this kind of stand that's not staying very still, but he'd managed to damage the plastic a little bit because I think he'd forced it off, so I had to sort of repair that to get all that working again and staying in place and stuff like that. Cleaned everything up. I've absolutely gutted the car. The car was an absolute mess inside and out. Really just neglected and bogging, and the whole car's had a deep clean inside and out. So yeah, once I got everything all cleaned up, I eventually managed to get the interior all back together. If you hear that noise in the background, I've got some tools in the boot, so it's one issue before its MOT. I'd been having problems starting the car, and I thought it had, I think the battery in it is a little bit dodgy anyway, but I thought the battery was just knackered. Eventually when I went to go start it one day, I just could not get the car started, and I had to kind of have it like a jump start by towing it or getting a push down a hill to get the car to start. So I managed to figure that out though. It turned out to be the starter motor was sticking, so we managed to pull the starter motor out. It was actually really easy on this car. Right at the top of the engine, basically, just under the manifold, and or the intake, can't remember which one, and that was pretty straightforward. The starter motor, just took everything apart, cleaned it up. It was really bone dry inside, it was all stuck, it was like it just seized, so we lubricated everything back up, put it back all together, put it back in the car, and the car, fingers crossed, apart from one incident this morning, I don't know why that happened, it didn't start on the first time, but since then it's been starting on key and it's been working first time. I may need to get a new starter for this at some point, but they're not too expensive, so I'm not too worried about that. And it was fairly easy to do. It took about 40 minutes last time to get it out. Quickly strip it down, re-lubricate it, put it back up, and so yeah, that was really good. Basically, apart from the starter motor, some interior bits, fixing the heating, fixing the seats, giving it a good clean, fixing the door. It was pretty good, but what I did notice is when I was under the car, doing the starter motor, underneath the car is absolutely solid. Someone's upgraded all the brakes, so it has drilled and sort of grooved brakes on it. I think it's got green stuff racing pads, or green stuff pads, I'm not sure what you call them. It's had its calipers painted, it's had chrome bits added to the car. And basically I got it really cheap just because it was running at the end of its MOT, and the guy sort of was selling it, and to be honest he was selling it at a bad time. It's better to sort of sell these cars around the summertime, especially if you don't want them, because you're going to get a lot more money for them. And if you can sell them with a good MOT, then good. But after all that, I took it for its MOT and it passed, no bother, no advisories, nothing, not a problem. And I was actually, it's I sort of know the person, and he let me hang about while I was doing the MOT, and let me have a proper look underneath and stuff. And it looks like all the bushings, all the suspension bushings have been poly bushed and stuff as well, which is quite cool. That was a job I was going to think about doing, but it looks like that's all been done. Also looks like it's got upgraded shock absorbers and springs on it, which is quite cool. I mean, to be honest, the car handles incredibly well. It could do with new tyres at some point. Sorry for the vibration there, it's quite a hard ride, this car. But yeah, it could do with new tyres at some point, but they're not too bad, not too terrible. The wheels on it's got 17-inch BMW wheels. I have no idea what kind, or if they've got a name or anything like that. I'm not really that sure. This is actually the first BMW I've owned, so yeah, so far it's actually a good little car. It's only done 108,000 miles, almost 109,000, so it's not too bad. I've got a full service book with it. It's got tons of BMW stamps, which is pretty cool. Loads of history. I'm pretty sure I've got all the MOT certificates and all that kind of stuff, so it's come with a really good history. I think I got it for quite a good price for what it was. I think if I remember, I paid like £800 or something for the car, which I think is really quite below market for what they are and what they can go for. Obviously at the time it did need some TLC, and it's definitely worth more now that it's got the MOT and all the interior bits have kind of been sorted. There's a couple other niggly little sections that need to be sort of attended to, but apart from that, the car is absolutely brilliant. It's a great little runner, runs well. Oh yeah, I've done the spark plugs as well actually, and undoing the spark plugs I noticed that there was some oil in basically just one of the spark plug bores. Wasn't too much oil, but it was noticeable. Was there, you know, pulling out the socket, everything was it was a bit wet. So I've had a look online, and there's common fault in these, the rocker cover gasket and the sort of seals around the bores, they go. Just with age. I mean, this is a 20-year-old car, it's 1997 I think, and it's definitely due a new rocker cover gasket and the sort of bore seals there. So that is a future plan for the car. So I'm going to get that done as soon as possible, but it was just really one. The other three were okay. I can't remember which one it was now. I think it was cylinder 2 or something like that. But yeah, I put new spark plugs in it because it looked like they hadn't been replaced in a while, and it dramatically changed how the car was revving and stuff. The old plugs were really black, and I think that's quite normal, but they were just, you could tell they were really old, and they hadn't actually been done in a while. So done that, but I've got new filters and stuff for it and ready to do an oil change. It's got this really rubbish aftermarket cone filter, but it's like ripped and it's disgusting. I think it's been on there for way too long, or it's just a super cheap one that's been put on. And if you are interested, it's only the 1.9 litre engine, but it's the 140 brake horsepower version, so it was the higher of the 1.9 engines that they've done, I believe. So I mean, for what it is, it's plenty of power. I know you can get, like, I think you can get the 2.3s or 2.5s and the 3 litres and stuff, but I mean, for what the car is, it's a bit of fun, rear wheel drive, you know. For what I'm using it for, it should be plenty. And it's got a really good clutch on it. I don't have any record of it ever being done, but it feels really meaty, so I don't think it's had a hard life. It's been well looked after. It comes with a private plate on it. It's quite cool. Yes, free private plate. I'm just going to leave it on the car because it makes it look a bit younger, I think. Just trying to think. The only tatty thing on the car is really the convertible hood. It looks like it's had the rear window replaced before. Obviously it's all much misty and cracked, but it doesn't leak, at least not at the back anyway. And unfortunately the side seams where the wire goes through, that's coming away, so you can sort of see into the car a little bit. And I do plan on getting a new hood for this car, but I'm not in a hurry because it doesn't, the way the fabric is, it doesn't really allow water to come in unless you kind of, if you were using a pressure washer or something like that, then obviously it would get in the car. So it seems fairly dry inside. It's actually my only car. I've got a fleet of cars, and this is just a new purchase. So if you want to see any more videos of my new cars, not my new cars, my other cars, I've got, hang on, I've got 3 other cars, and 1 in a garage. So yeah, if you want to find out more about them, let me know in the comments below. I'll definitely do a video of my cars. I need to get it all cleaned up and stuff ready for you. But yeah, I got this because I've never really had a rear-wheel drive, and I thought, you know, I might as well get one. And I'm going to do some glamour shots of this car. Again, the car is a bit dirty, so please ignore that. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a comment down below. There's going to be lots more car videos soon, especially if you like them. And I'm going to be doing various other different videos. I'll basically just do videos of like daily stuff or stuff that I'm interested in at the time of doing them. So don't forget to smash that thumbs up. It really helps me. It lets me know that you're engaged. It lets me know that you like the videos, and the more you get involved, the more videos I will produce on a daily basis and get them out there for you to enjoy. And I'll definitely show you my other cars soon. Just drop a comment below and tell me, what car do you have? What car do you drive? I'm really intrigued to know, what's your daily driver? Do you have multiple cars? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, and if the question is interesting enough, I'll reply back to you. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this video. I'll see you all in the next video.